Hello, everyone. Today we continue discussing the situation surrounding, arguably, the most controversial film by Disney in recent years, their new remake of Snow White. The situation is becoming increasingly complex and worrisome as news about it grows ever less encouraging. As has been revealed in the latest reports by renowned Hollywood reporters, the financial collapse of this project is now imminent. Predictions for its debut box office earnings are deteriorating right before everyone's eyes. And this undoubtedly has a significant impact on the film's future. At this point, the situation is complicated not only by negative feedback from the USA and Europe, but also by widespread criticism from audiences in China, one of the largest global film markets. There, in the run-up to the premiere, articles are already appearing in which the film is subjected to harsh evaluations, and where accusations of distorting the original fairy tale are frequently voiced. Moreover, the company Mel, a world-renowned toy manufacturer, has added its own twist to this turmoil by releasing figurines of the Evil Queen and Snow White herself. However, the figurine of the main character, contrary to Disney's efforts to whiten her image, emphasizes her Latino heritage, which provokes even more controversy and misunderstanding among the public. Let's figure out why the situation is developing in this way. Let's start with the most important factor: box office earnings. The budget for Snow White has been steadily increasing in recent years, and as of 2023, its cost had already reached $240 million. After additional reshoots and revisions, the production cost skyrocketed to $300 million. If you add to this the expenses for marketing and advertising, at between $50 and $100 million, the film's break-even point appears to be around $800 million. For many, this seems unrealistic since collecting such an amount under current conditions will be extremely difficult. Just 2 weeks ago, predictions for the so-called domestic market, that is, in the USA and Canada, indicated earnings in the range of $63 to $70 million for the opening weekend. However, according to the latest data obtained from Hollywood reporters, these figures have decreased by about 15 million, and now it is expected that during the opening weekend, the film will collect between $48 and $58 million. If we compare these numbers with the success of the previous remake, Disney's The Little Mermaid 2023, which earned about $96 million in the domestic market on its opening weekend, and eventually grossed around $570 million worldwide. The situation for Snow White appears extremely grim. Assuming that the dynamics of the box office remain the same, the total gross for Snow White might turn out to be half that of The Little Mermaid, which would mean that the film would earn no more than $280 million in total. And if we take into account that cinemas retain about 50% of the total gross, Disney's net profit would be only around $140 million, an amount hardly capable of covering the production and marketing costs. It is important to note that one of the reasons for the anticipated collapse is not only the unsuccessful strategy of the company and controversies surrounding the choice of lead actress, Rachel Zegler, along with problematic casting, but also the intensified criticism from the international press, especially in China. There, the film has received a barrage of negative reviews, and local critics accuse Disney of straying from the original by radically altering the essence of the classic tale. One of the Chinese film critics from Global Times even stated that Snow White has become a symbol of Disney's crisis, as the project is trying to balance between modern trends and fidelity to the original story. Such disagreements leave audiences puzzled, and many doubt that the film will be able to find common ground with its loyal fans. At the same time, it is worth noting that recently, Rachel Zegler herself, while on a global tour promoting the new film, changed her previous statements. Earlier, she claimed that the negative reaction to her casting in the lead role was due solely to misogyny and racism. However, now the actress has stated that the disappointed fans she previously dismissed as insignificant are, in fact, true appreciators of the original work that they sincerely love. Such a shift in rhetoric has undoubtedly surprised many and added another layer of unpredictability to the overall picture surrounding the film. However, such twists in position are evident in an environment of fierce competition and pressure from various groups of viewers. We must not forget that Disney is trying to salvage the situation at the last minute. The studio is making every effort to convince audiences to go to theaters and support the project, and it is actively running a marketing campaign aimed at both longtime fans of classic fairy tales and a new, more diverse audience. As part of this campaign, the film's creators and marketers emphasize the unique approach to the visual design and modern reinterpretation of the classic story. They insist that the film is not just an updated version of the tale, but a full-fledged work of art that meets the spirit of the times and reflects current cultural trends. At the same time, the international poster for the film also shows changes. The main character has been visually lightened using digital effects and lighting in an attempt to make her image more harmonious and in line with modern standards. However, this move has sparked a wave of criticism, as many viewers believe that trying to hide or change the essence of the character only worsens the situation. As one fan commented on social media, "If you love the original, you shouldn't alter what made it iconic." Such comments can be found both in the USA and in other countries. It is interesting that in this struggle for the audience, Disney has to contend not only with criticism, but also with competing against some of the biggest partners in the entertainment industry. Recently, the world leader in toy production, Mattel, was expected to launch a new line of figurines connected to the film Snow White. The figurines include not only an image of the evil queen, which looks quite in line with what we have seen on screen, but also a new, exaggerated version of Snow White. According to many experts, this version accentuates her Latino features, which, in some opinions, deliberately contradicts Disney's efforts to soften the audience's perception and revert to the canonical image of the heroine. Thus, Mel's move is perceived as a direct opposition to Disney's attempts to improve the film's situation, adding fuel to the fire. Let's not forget that behind every such project, there are enormous financial flows. And if you consider that both the film industry and the toy industry are true giants with turnovers in the hundreds of millions, any failed decision can result in significant losses for the companies. In the case of Snow White, it is forecast that the film may lead to losses of $270 million, which would make it one of the most notorious failures for Disney in recent years. Such a situation forces us to reflect on how important it is to adhere to traditions, remain faithful to the original material, and at the same time, consider modern trends. Many experts already note that remakes of famous classic films often fall victim to excessive pressure from the public and political correctness. As analysts claim, attempts to incorporate progressive elements into iconic stories can be doomed to fail if they are perceived as top-down imposed changes. In turn, Disney, it seems, has found itself trapped between a desire for innovation and the need to please traditional fans. As a result, the film ends up being fragmented, and the audience cannot find the soulful atmosphere that made the original fairy tales so beloved. What else can be added to this story? It is worth mentioning that the latest news from online sources indicate that public opinion is divided into two camps. One part of the audience welcomes the attempts to make the story more modern and inclusive, while another insists on leaving everything as it was in the classic version. This polarization of opinions sparks lively discussions on forums and social networks where everyone has the opportunity to voice their opinion. We, of course, love to see active participation from our readers, so if you're interested in learning more, please leave your comments and share your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to our channel and clicked the bell yet, do so right now so you don't miss important news and updates. Your opinion is very important to us, so don't forget to like this material if you enjoyed it. Your feedback helps us become better and delight you with new interesting stories. Against the backdrop of all these events, it becomes clear that Disney is under enormous pressure from critics, viewers, and even its partners. Every new detail, be it a change in marketing strategy or the launch of a new product line, only adds uncertainty to the overall picture. Many are already wondering whether the company will be able to save this project or if Snow White will go down in history as one of the studio's biggest failures. More and more information confirms that even with all the efforts to improve quality and update the visual style, changing the film's fate is almost impossible. It's not just about financial losses, but also about reputational risks that can affect Disney's image in the long run. Relationships with international partners, especially with major markets like China, play a huge role in the success of any film project. And if the criticism in these countries continues to grow, further attempts to remedy the situation may prove futile. Moreover, additional data from the internet indicate that audiences are becoming increasingly discerning and attentive to details. Any discrepancy between the classic version of the story and modern changes is perceived very sharply. For instance, the attempt to adapt Snow White's image to modern standards. In parallel, it is worth noting that Disney's marketing campaign around Snow White has become the subject of numerous discussions on social media. Various bloggers and critics are voicing their opinions, emphasizing that attempts to change the character's image only intensify the contradictions between the old and the new. Some say that it is a step toward the future, showing that the studio is ready for change, while others believe that Disney has lost touch with what made it iconic. In this context, it is important to note that the real strength of cinema lies in its ability to tell stories that resonate with audiences' hearts, regardless of political correctness or modern trends. It is also interesting that online predictions based on the analysis of box office data from previous Disney releases have emerged. Experts compare the box office dynamics of Snow White and The Little Mermaid, emphasizing that the difference in opening weekend figures could be a signal of serious problems. Some analysts even claim that if current trends continue, the final earnings of Snow White will be so low that the project will become one of the studio's most significant failures in recent years. Despite all the criticism, Disney continues to exert every effort to improve the situation. The studio is actively working on changing the public's perception of the film. Attempts have been made to revise the marketing strategy, strengthen the emphasis on visual effects, and supplement the plot with new elements that should attract both the old and the new audiences. Nevertheless, most experts agree that such measures are already too little, too late, and their effect may prove minimal. As is evident, a real drama is unfolding around Snow White, involving enormous financial stakes as well as reputational risks. Ultimately, the film's success or failure could serve as a mirror not only for Disney itself, but for the entire film industry, demonstrating how challenging it is to balance innovation with tradition in an era of globalization. On one hand, new trends allow for updating classic narratives, and on the other, excessive experiments may alienate longtime fans. Finding this balance is crucial, and so far it has proven elusive. We will closely monitor the situation and share with you the latest news as they unfold. If you're following updates, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion matters a lot to us. Let's discuss together what you think awaits Snow White, and whether Disney can meet this challenge. For the American audience, this story holds special significance, as Disney has always been considered a symbol of quality entertainment and family fun. Today, as more viewers pay attention to inclusivity and diversity, changes in classic characters evoke strong emotions. Many Americans remember the times when Disney fairy tales were passed down through generations, and every new reinterpretation is not just an updated product, but a symbol of cultural change. Therefore, if you want to stay informed about the latest news from the world of cinema and not miss any important detail, be sure to stick with us, subscribe, and like. In conclusion, it must be said that the situation surrounding the new remake of Snow White remains extremely tense. Box office earnings, financial forecasts, international criticism, all of these form a complex mosaic that shows no sign of letting Disney catch a break. The studio is under pressure both domestically and internationally, and any mistake could result in enormous losses. No matter how it unfolds, we will continue to monitor developments and promptly inform you of any news. If you have your own thoughts or comments regarding what is happening, feel free to share them in the comments below our video or article. We're very interested to hear your opinion, as every perspective helps to better understand what is truly happening. And if you enjoyed this material, be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel. This way, you'll always be up to date with the hottest news from the world of entertainment. Thank you for spending this time with us. And until next time, stay tuned, because there is still so much more exciting and intriguing content ahead. We appreciate each one of our viewers, and your support is our main motivation to keep moving forward and delight you with the freshest news from the world of cinema and show business. We hope that this video and article help you see the situation from a new perspective. Don't forget to share this information with your friends, because together we can discuss and analyze the most important events in the industry. Meanwhile, until we meet again, stay connected, and remember, your opinion matters. Once again, thank you for your attention. Please hit like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the bell to catch the most recent updates. See you, friends. I hope you enjoyed this detailed and extended overview. If you have any additional thoughts or would like to discuss other aspects of the situation surrounding Snow White, please leave your comments. We are always open to dialogue and your feedback. Take care, and see you soon.